welcome to a very special edition of Tech Tuesday. I'm your host, Amy Arwidmark. I'm a rose among thorns. I'm sitting here between two very thorny, geeky IT pros. Who are you?
I'm Johan Arwidmark.
And who are you?
I'm Michael Nystrom.
So I heard a rumor about the two of you, and it's time to set things straight.
Okay.
I heard that you guys built your own deployment solution that competes with Microsoft. Is this true?
Not exactly.
No, I wouldn't say it's true.
We wrote an extension for it.
An extension. Okay. All right. I'm relieved now. I was a little bit worried. I was going to tell you that's actually a really bad idea. But I'm glad that you had enough sense to do something with PowerShell. So I thought that I would sit down and ask you two, what the heck is PSD? What does it mean? Tell me about it.
Okay, it means a lot. So back in the days, MDT, Light Touch, everything was PowerShell driven except one thing, the task sequence engine. The task sequence engine was controlled by VBScript because of the purpose to be able to run on older things like, legacy things.
Windows XP and...
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a couple of years ago, Michael Niehaus, that is the founder and the guy that really made MDT what it is today. He said, well, VBScript isn't that great. Maybe we should shift into PowerShell. So he wrote a community solution,
a little bit of a framework, I should say. Yeah.
Community solutions are good.
Yeah, it's like a proof of concept kind of thing. He presented it at MMS and said, okay, so I'm showing you it's possible to use PowerShell. And I think that PowerShell will survive for a longer period of time. And I want to release this as a proof of concept. And it turns out that MDT by itself have the ability to accept something called extensions. We didn't know that at the time, but he was, we always supported that. So cool. It is possible to extend MDT by just throwing in files in a certain folder, and then it becomes extended. Johan and I, together with other people, said, well, Johan said, I think we should do this. I said, what? I think we should start doing PowerShell for real. So Johan convinced me, together with Steve, Jordan,
and a few friends from Two Pint as
yes,
well.
and Andreas from Two Pint and other people as well, say, let's do this. And so we did. I think when we first started out, we said that it's going to take a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I talked to Andreas and he asked me, okay, what's the time frame? We can probably do it in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Try 4 months.
Exactly. And there's a slide that says months of development still needs to be done. He didn't show me that slide, but now when I saw that, I remember I saw that like 2 years ago, and it took a couple of months. So yes, so what we did is we took what Niehaus did, and I wouldn't say completed it, but we worked on it very hard. So now we have a PowerShell-driven task sequence that can do a lot more than it could do 4 months ago.
Yeah, and it's a good example. For now, we can, for example, do deployment over HTTP, something that plain vanilla MDT cannot do on its own. And that opens up for a bunch of new scenarios, like being able to deploy from Azure, and also to start to leverage peer-to-peer technologies, like branch cache being able to peer content during OSD, so don't every single client have to download like a 5 gig image on its own.
Yeah. And so we can accelerate, we can have other types of authentication, security can be better. Just because we're running PowerShell, we can do a whole bunch of more things.
Yeah.
So that's
and I noticed you have your laptop running with a...
I do.
A remote session.
Yes.
Very shiny. No privacy here. Everyone can
Absolutely.
see everyone's screen.
Yep. So this is MDT, right? I mean, it looks exactly like MDT. We have the same kind of applications. We have the same operating systems. And
you have the same sequences?
Yes, almost the same. So if I open a sequence here, you're going to recognize this. This is one of our developer sequences, but it has basically the same idea of steps. It's just that even if this step looks exactly like the normal MDT step, it's a PowerShell script behind it that will be executed instead.
So we detect that this feature was triggered, and inject different code in the back end at deployment time.
Yes. So it's look-alike, but not exactly. Yeah. So once you've done that, you modify the task sequence, you do what, task sequence work, and you want to deploy it. You generate the boot image, you boot from whatever you want to boot from. In this case, we're going to boot from an ISO. So I have a blank machine here. This is a BIOS machine. And even if I can boot over Pixie, since it's a VM, it's going to be faster to boot over ISO. And we use this just for testing and demo purposes. But you can see it looks pretty much the same as always. Machine booting up in Windows P, nothing fancy, nothing special, kind of boring. And it's going to look almost the same until you realize that, hey, it's running PowerShell scripts.
So, no surprises. PowerShell needs to be added to the boot image.
Yes.
It's very helpful. So we do that for you.
That is a good prereq to talk about, yes.
And we're not running light touch VBS, we're running PSD start.ps1. And here you can see, now this is the debugging dev mode thing, so everything is being spit out, and it's also a bit slower than usual because we're logging everything to insanity. The wizard is different. And
very much different. It has exactly one wizard pane.
Yeah.
It has two options available. Cancel or finish.
Is this a bug or a feature?
No, it's intended to be that way.
Yeah, but if you look at the text here, you're going to realize that it's gathering all the information, and you can see that if you're really good on reading the code, you're going to see that it's fetching everything over HTTP and not using UNC paths.
Very shiny.
Yeah, so now we are mounting the entire deployment share across the network. And if I go here, I pick the sequence, and I hit finish, it's now going to download everything, and it's doing that over HTTP. It's running the gather process, and then it's going to install Windows.
So the sequence is running, and for every action in the sequence, there will be code snippet in PowerShell kicking in depending on the action.
Yeah.
So
it's PowerShell driven. It takes, we thought SMB and HTTP is going to be a huge difference. It's not when you run on a local network. It's
the same, more or less.
Yeah, it's almost the same. There are of course differences, but in general it's the same thing. And well, since you do HTTP across a really bad network, well then you can do deployment over internet, for instance. And we are playing a lot with this, and we're trying to add all the features. We have a lot of things to add. It will be released tomorrow as a
open source community.
Yeah, something like that. We're going to continue working on it, and everybody that wants to chime in will have the opportunity to either do that, or they can just download it and play with it. We have installers, we have hydration kits, we have configuration scripts for how to set everything up. So it's really designed to be super easy to download, install, get it configured, and say, hey, I'm deploying over HTTP.
Yeah, and the link to all of this is github.com/friendsofmdt.
Yep.
That's the repository itself. We also have, of course, a PowerShell deployment toolkit.com. PowerShellDeployment.com website where you can get some additional information, and also with links, of course.
And we have a really cool badge.
Yeah?
Yeah, asking about PSD.
I lost mine.
I lost mine too.
Oh, I have the badge. It's here. It's a really cool, awesome badge thingy here. Yes.
Very shiny.
Yeah, very shiny.
And you guys are doing a session later this week at MMS, so anyone who's a regular viewer of Tech Tuesday, now's your chance to add it to your schedule. It is Thursday at
3 p.m.
3 p.m. So add it to your schedule now and don't miss it. Do you guys have any last words you want to say before I send everyone on their way?
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to tune in every Tuesday. I'll bring in a new tech video. Sometimes I'll have shiny co-hosts, but can't guarantee they'll be as shiny as these two, but I can always try. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.